So welcome back to my channel, Petrolhead. Sorry, the lighting around there isn't exactly great, is it? So, with my car, I'm obviously moving away from JB4 with MHD back end to, I've got MHD Plus actually, so MHD Plus with Motive Reflex, which will be cool. So, because the meth injection through the port, it is a little bit more problematic than, port injection with fuel. So obviously got the upgraded fuel pump. So we've got the Dorch DS25. I've also got the S58 injectors, so improved the direct fueling. Then I've got the 6 550cc Bosch injectors. Just knocking a box over there. And my power goal, I want to try and get the car tuned to be about 550-ish brakes, so 500 to 550-ish on pump gas. Then maybe 600, 650 on E50, and then E85, 700, the limit of the engine and the gearbox really without having them built. So to do this, I'm going to kind of park the meth for the minute. So I'm going to keep it and then disconnect it. So that's going to be when I want to go to 1,000 horsepower. That's still going to be in the car. I've bought the Precision Raceworks Stage 2 fuel pump. So the Stage 2, oh my God, I cannot talk today. The Stage 2 fuel pump is a pump that bolts onto the side of existing low pressure fuel pump, and what it does is it delivers additional fueling down the standard fuel line, so the single fuel line, but allows you to deliver additional fueling, and it's good for about, I think it's about 800 or 850, depending on whether you're looking at full on that fuel or whether you're looking at an E-mix. So as we all know, the more E that you introduce, the more fuel, more litres per hour you need to deliver, because the more E you put in, you're kind of diluting, although it's higher octane, you're kind of thinning out your fuel. So you need a balance of additional fuel and also the ethanol for the octane boost. So you can obviously run improved timings and run more power without degrading or impacting a vehicle, creating detonation, things like that. So I've got here in front of me, so sorry, the lighting might not be great. So what I've got here is the Precision Raceworks pump. So if you're not familiar with low pressure fuel pumps, you've got one that sits in a basket in your tank, and that's one that you'll have seen pictures and videos of, lots of, I'm sure. But what this does is, because it's a Stage 2, this is a standalone fuel pump that, by the way, that's not packaging, that's the fuel filter, so it sucks fuel in through here. This is it's a Walbro, I think it's like a 450 fuel pump, sorry, with a bracket, so that basically bolts on the side of your bucket and sits inside your fuel tank. So this then obviously allows you to deliver a lot more fuel. Just sit that there. So this thing allows you to deliver tons more fuel, so it's obviously got connections to run it, to power it, and this sits actually in your fuel, just like the standard fuel pump. Then it has these lines that connect it. Obviously, you need to be able to connect it in to the existing fuel pump fuel system. You then have this here, which is the power connection for it. This goes through a hermetically sealed seal and then goes into your fuel pump. You don't want any gases or fuel escaping, and then those two there, surprise, surprise, connect onto these two here, down here. So along with this, because this is specifically for the A91 Supra or the B58 Gen 2, you also get a load of cabels. Is the main connector. This has got the, I don't think it's not a Hobbs switch, but it works in a similar way. On the back, you've got a fuse that connects obviously into the pump, and then you've got an earth. No, you haven't. You've got a live, and then you've got an earth, and then you've got this connector here. So this helps you integrate into Motive Reflex. Whoop whoop. So then you've got a switched, like a switch live trigger you can use, or with this thing here, you plug it in to there, obviously, and this is a negative trigger. So this green bit here, you have to strip the cable and expose that, is actually attached to a pressure sensor, but you strip it off and you're left with that cable. So this then plugs into that, and this runs to the front of the car and goes into a negative trigger on your Motive Reflex, so it can actually activate it. Now, you can do it, like I said, with a switch live. So you do in the bag, you get another cable, which is this one. which is a trigger, but that's actually I believe a switch live trigger. That's how that one works. And then you get that little doohickey thing there. That's more for testing. I haven't really looked into what that is. It's just for testing. So pretty plug and play. You have to do a bit of drilling, a bit of fitting to attach that to the side of the tank with the fitting kit, which is in here. So you get some little rivets, and you get some clamps for the pipes that you squish down, the fuel pipes, and then you get a plate to attach it in with. So that is the fitting kit. You get the pump itself. You know, I've got additional ways of doing fueling with the meth when I want to go to that 1,000 horsepower. Oh, there it is. So that's the bit I cut off. You get a pressure sensor that you have to cut off and then expose the green cable. So I don't know why they don't pre-do that, because I don't know what use that is. But there you go. There was a quick video on the fuel pump that I'm obviously going to have fitted to the car, along with whenever I get a new turbo, whenever that turns up, along with the motor reflex. And it's going to allow me to run some serious fueling, some safe fueling, because you don't need your car to run lean. And then I can have those different tunes on Motive Reflex. I can have those 3 maps, and that's what I'm looking for. I believe Motive Reflex with MHD Plus, you kind of go with a lower map setting, and then you can go up to like an E85. And in theory, it should, because I've got a flex fuel, it should figure out how much power it can deliver based on what ethanol content I've got. So if that works, that'll be spot on. So there'll be no more messing around trying to tune it or work out, oh, I've got this much ethanol in there, you know, what can I take it to? So hopefully, if I can get Motor Reflex Plus working spot on and get some nice tunes, I can get this car absolutely flying. So thanks for watching my video. Stay tuned for more, yet more stuff with the car.